What's up, CHFFL? We are 1 week closer to some playoff action, and I personally am getting very excited. Let's get through going over week 10 so we can get to the predictions of this week. We have two very big games in a galaxy far, far away to talk about. Last week, though, I went 3-3, bringing my predictions up to 35-25 on the season. There were some big upsets. Swan and Mark, who had been written off as completely out of it and still are, but nobody thought they had a chance to win last week. Both got upsets, and Grant put up a even 100-point dud against Parker, giving him the inside track for the Football Flicks bye week. The team of the week was Wes with 150, and he won the game of the week against JD. JD continued to slide down after his good first half of the year. I think he put up about 110 or some, a smaller number. Maybe he didn't even eclipse 100, but not a good showing when he needed a win against Wes. Looking to waiver watch, Max, of course, spent 20 FAAB on Taysom Hill, who everybody else was either not thinking about or just overlooked because he could start this week for the Saints. It's looking like he is the starter, and ESPN lets you put this quarterback at the tight end spot, which is, quarterbacks, of course, way more valuable, even if they don't play very often and throw a few picks. They normally score more than tight ends these days. Swan put in 20 for Malcolm Brown, still staying competitive. I'm a big fan of that. Of course, if you're not going to make the playoffs, you know that you're playing for your draft pick next year, so you want to keep doing as well as you can. Max picked up the Dolphins' defense and special teams, as well as Taysom Hill for $5, outbidding Derek and I. The Dolphins don't have a reputation for being a great defense, but have been very solid lately and have a great schedule coming up, so I like that ad quite a lot, and I like that they went to the Football Flicks Conference. Looking at our matchups, let's start over there with Mark and his Zero Fun Serve versus Grant and the SCLSU Mud Dogs. Grant, of course, just acquired Stephon Diggs and Rob Gronkowski. Diggs is on a bye, but he's still the super team, and I don't expect Mark to get two upsets in a row or Grant to put up two duds in a row. I'm taking Grant here. Looking at Coach Boone's 5th grade Sissy versus Cliff Franklin's Sticky Hands. Max is the team that always seems to do the opposite of what I pick. If I pick them to win, they lose, etc. But Swan has Carlos Hyde and Myers, a kicker, got 27 on Thursday. It's a good start. DeAndre Swift is out this week. He got a concussion either in practice or outside of practice. Of course, they play on Thanksgiving too, so DeAndre Swift could miss 2 weeks in a row here with some unknown injury. If you were looking to trade him or acquire him, his value is definitely way down with only 3 weeks left before playoffs. And Max, of course, getting Taysom Hill in the quarterback slot. I like him, even though Thursday was very good for Swan. Next, Parker's Show Me the Money versus Stan's Icebox's Little Giants. Parker got 28 from Edmonds and Hopkins on Thursday. Stan got 13 from Metcalf, which is a little bit of a disappointing Thursday for him. And Parker's getting Calvin Ridley back, which is very nice. However, there is a tough schedule here for Aaron Rodgers, Derrick Henry, and Travis Kelce. Stan, of course, viewing this as must win. Everything's a must win, but he still thinks he has a shot at the playoffs. I'm taking Parker, but there is a path here with those tough matchups for Stan to get the upset. Next, in a galaxy far, far away, we have the Knights of Alvin versus the Tuscan City Raiders. Drake returned for Marty and got 17 points in the Thursday game. Christian Kirk only 9 for Wes, but looking at the rosters, it's still not close. Wes is the overwhelming favorite, and I'm taking him. This is kind of a tune-up game, getting ready for that bye-week push. Next, we have the Wookiee of the Year versus the Mandalorian Mercenaries. Russell Wilson got 22 points for JD on Thursday, which is a great start. And he also held the Chargers defense on his bench as they face the Jets this week, considered the offense to stream against. For the Mercenaries, you got a tough wide receiver choice. Adam Thielen has a great matchup with Dallas, but he's on their bench right now. They have Robbie Anderson, Terry McLaurin, and I forget, but they're going to have to decide what they want to do. I think put Thielen in with a good matchup and maybe hope for a boom game. JD's flex players have a tough schedule, and I'm taking the upset here. I looked at this one for a while, and this is definitely a game to watch because if JD were to lose this, as I'm predicting, that puts him really on the outside looking in for the playoff hunt. He needs a win here, but the Mercenaries, even though they've traded off for the future, are still a very strong roster, so this is one to watch, and I'm taking the upset. Finally, the game of the week has to be Derek and my Coruscant Younglings versus Minis Kareemed by the Sith. On Thursday, Tyler Lockett outscored Kyler Murray 21-19, which was huge for us, coming in as kind of the underdogs because Josh Allen is on a bye. Of course, last week we picked up Tua, liking his matchup with Denver this week. Joe Mixon moves to IR for Mini, which has to be a big blow. And all this coach talk was that he was going to be back. Now he's missing at least the next 3 games after Mini spent some draft capital to get him. A big storyline here is Zeke versus Tyreek Hill. Of course, Mini traded down and we traded up to get Zeke, and he picked Tyreek Hill. And after Dak Prescott's injury, Tyreek has been the better player to own, so that's just a fun storyline. And obviously the playoff implications are huge here. Mini sits at 7-3, we're 6-4. Mini won the first game, so if he wins this, he's pretty much in because we're not going to catch him. And if he wins, he's fighting with Wes for that first round bye. This was a tough one. I feel the nerves building up as the playoffs get closer. But I'm confident, and I'm taking Derek and I to pull out the win here. It's going to be a great week. Best of luck to Mini. Best of luck to everybody as we gear up for the playoffs. See you next week.